On this video, I'm making my Christmas tamales. So I gotta cut all my leaves from my banana trees. So, come on. We need to debone the leaf from in here. And we'll be using this and this part, but not that. So in order to do that, you know, this right here is sticky. Be careful, it gets in your clothes. So I just try to get as close as I can to the bone, what they call a bone, like the backbone. What I want to do is make sure this is in one piece and it doesn't split. It's easier to, like, just like that. Roll them very loosely so you don't damage the leaves. And this bag right here will go in the freezer just like it is till we're ready to work them. When it came time to making the tamales, I forgot to thaw the leaves. I didn't take them out the day before, so I decided to put them in the oven for a little bit just so that they would not be so frozen and I could work them. After that, I wash them, clean them with warm water. The ingredients for the sauce for the tamales, you can buy them at any of the Mexican or Latin American stores. They come with this little package right here that is annatto or cumin. It also has sesame seed, pumpkin seeds, bay leaf, oregano. It also has chile ancho or chile guaco, which is this big fat chili, and these little blocks that are also the same thing. And this one, it's a little different than the other pouch, but it's the same thing. And it's not necessary to add the whole pouch. Just a little bit of every ingredient is fine. Keep trying it little by little. The more you put, the more pungent it'll be, the hotter the chili will be. I just put a little bit of a handful. And I think if I need more, I'll just add a little more. But I just don't like my tamales really chili, you know, hot, spicy. I don't like them like that, but it's your own taste. Dry roast them until they're light brown, but not burnt. See the difference right here. And once your leaves are thawed out enough, then you wash them with warm water and pat them dry. And after you pat them dry, clean them a little bit with a towel, and then you cut them to size. My leaves were kind of skinny because my plant is still young. So I just take one, make sure the tamal would fit around right this area, and I could at least cover it completely like this. The preparation is what takes a little time, but you know, making tamales is only once a year. It's an all-day thing, so take your time, do it right. Get all your vegetables together. Drain the vegetables that you're going to be using. In this case, I'm using garbanzo beans, string beans, potatoes, green pepper. Just get everything prepared. Once you have everything prepared, then you start cooking your masa or your flour, because everything will be ready this way. Otherwise, it's gonna take you a very long time. The Salvadorian Christmas tamales uses the leaf from the bananas, the banana leaf. Most people usually use aluminum foil, but I don't like to cook. I stopped cooking with aluminum foil a long time ago, and I'm using parchment paper right here. It works just as well, as long as you have enough parchment paper where you can turn it around and then fold the bottom, the two ends together like that. That should work. After grinding your roasted ingredients, you set them aside so that you can start making the sauce here real soon. But here are the ingredients that, I could say, the vegetables you're going to put in your tamales. You can actually do any kind of vegetables. I just happen to use these. Potatoes, parboil, very little parboil. You have your leaves already, green beans, olives, a green pepper, garbanzo beans, and your chicken and your sauce. This is the name of the masa we use, the flour. It's called maseca, and you can get it anywhere. Now, the next ingredients we're going to do is a whole onion. This whole onion is going to be caramelized in lard, believe it or not. I know. Tamales are not something that you eat if you want to lose weight. I'm telling you right now. You do have to, if you don't do this right here, if you don't use Crisco oil or any kind of lard like this, Crisco lard, I should say, they won't have the same consistency, they won't have the same taste. So for Christmas, it's only once a year we do this. You're going to use 1/3 of this big can. I'm sorry I don't have it now with me, so I can't tell you the size of it, but it's the big one. You only have a big one and a little one that you can buy. This is the big one. So you use 1/3 of it, and you will caramelize. This is going to take a while because you're going to caramelize it slowly until they're really, really translucent, until you can see right through them. Then you take them off the lard, or in this case, it'll look like oil. To start cooking your masa or your flour, you take a very deep container or like a canning container, very deep one, because you're going to start adding 16 cups of liquid. In this case, I'm using 2 cups of chicken broth, and after a little bit, I add another 2 cups to the bottom of this pan, of this pot to serve. And then I add, and I'm sorry about this, but I lost the footage, I add 8 cups of flour. But here it is. And you start stirring it and stirring it. You never stop, because if it burns on the bottom, you've ruined your tamales. The taste is not good at all. Let me tell you, just keep stirring. You will do this for as long as it takes, 25 minutes. Keep stirring and stirring until it looks like soup. It definitely needs to be like a thick soup. And then you will add your lard. I know it's a lot of lard, but just add the whole thing to it. And keep stirring until it bubbles again, and it just keeps stirring for another 5-10 minutes. It'll be boiling. Cook it at medium or a little bit higher than medium. Just keep cooking and cooking. You will see the bubbles. Just keep cooking and cooking. It will get harder. Oh my goodness, please forgive me for the sound, but I'm taping with one hand and stirring with the other, so I don't have any way of holding this pot, so it makes sound. This is the roasted herbs that we grind completely. You put it in there and you keep stirring it and stirring it. You are going to add 1 whole cup of the flour. Just take it from the flour that's been cooking and just add the whole flour in here. This thickens it even more. If you feel that the ingredients are too thick and you want it more watery, then you can continue adding a little bit of water, but not too much, because actually this is what gives a tamale the taste, and you don't want it too watery. Remember the caramelized onion? We're also going to add that with the rest of the stewed tomatoes and a little bit of water, maybe half a cup of water. For the next step, you divide the flour in thirds and take 1/3, put it in another pot, and add 2 cups of sugar. I know it's a lot of sugar, but this is what the sugar tamales are going to need. Add your first bunch, taste it. If you think it needs more, it should be more sweeter than not, because it'll wash out. Add a little bit more until you finish adding your 2 cups. Okay, for the fun stuff. What we've been waiting for. Here's how to assemble your tamales. I lost the footage for the salt tamales, but it's basically the same thing. You just put your sauce on the tamales, and the sugar ones will have garbanzo. You really don't, not a lot of people add what I add. I just add all the stuff that I like. You can actually add anything you want. Here's a prune, some raisins, some garbanzo, some chicken, and potato. And the salty ones obviously have olives and green beans and all the green stuff. It's a lot different, but this is how you assemble mine, because I love the sugar ones. Here, I'll show you now. So to wrap these, you fold them pretty much towards the middle. See, you fold everything over. Make sure nothing will come out, although everything comes out. And then you push the sides. You squeeze as much as you can so that nothing comes out, but it always leaks. And these sugar ones I tie, because I need to know, you fold them over. I need to know which are sugar and which are salt. So I will tie mine. I just take a string, and actually I should have cut this before I even started, but I'm going to cut them to size right here. And then tie them. That way you keep them separated. In the end, we got 15 sugar and 30 salt. But it's okay, because I only eat the sugar. I don't eat the salt. And my husband doesn't like the sugar. He eats only the salt. So it came out just right. You steam them for an hour. And if you don't have anything to keep the water off, because when you only put about 1/2 inch water on the bottom, or to 1 inch, then just take one of the tops and invert it upside down. And then when you put all your tamales on top, the water, they will not be in the water, just a steam. This is the salt.
I wait for this all year long. So good.
Open the whole thing, babe. Everything's there. As you could see, the olives there, the chicken's there. It's really hot. The potatoes there. Now to show you the sugar. And this is the sugar. Oh my goodness, look at that decadent, delicious. Oh, so sweet, so delicious. So I hope you try them. Try making them. I know we can only eat them once a year because, boy, I say fattening. And as always, hit the bell, like, share, and subscribe.